I do believe that whenever a new government comes in, and in this case, India, the government has been bold enough to think out of the box to find interesting ways of developing the financial sector. And I look at this as a positive for taking steps towards development of the Indian financial sector.
Okay. And talking about the Modi government, we have seen the initial steps that they have taken. Do you think that the base has been formed now to reach to that growth path of 8 to 9% going forward? And when do you see that India will actually reach that high growth path?
I'm a believer that this is a marathon, and the government is working towards a marathon run. Now, in a marathon, if you run too fast, you get exhausted. If you run too slow, you never make it. So you have to pace yourself well. And I have a sense that India has a great opportunity to pace itself steadily and build more sustainable growth rather than a quick up and a quick down.
So, but if you were to just talk about when do you see that at least 7 to 8% hitting in the next 5 years, next 2 years?
No, I think my view is that over the next 5 years, we will average 6.5 plus average, which means if you're starting at around 5.5, 5.6, we will end hopefully at 7 plus, giving us an average of 6.5 plus. And I think that if it's built properly, steadily on sound foundation, India is heading for better times.
And are there any key areas that where the government still needs to focus on?
I think my view is the core engine to supporting India's growth aspiration is going to be the financial sector. And Indian financial sector will have to get more efficient, work on building itself and really developing as the engine supporting India's real economy growth.
And as far as the foreign investors are concerned, do you think that they're looking at India at a better light now, post the new government coming in? And do you see many more capital inflows coming at least into the equity market? Do you see it touching greater heights than
I think India's macro is improving, but global markets currently are going through a bit of a tumble. But if India's macros improve, I think I am much more interested in fundamentals. And as fundamentals improve, capital will follow the fundamentals, irrespective of short-term volatility.
So do you think the global factors could spoil the party for India this year, or are we well placed?
Global factors are actually helping India fundamentals, but market gyrations are independent of that. So there is a whole move towards an asset class which is emerging markets and commodities as one asset class in global pool. Therefore, commodities coming down is very good for India. And even if in the short run there is some volatility, I am bullish on the markets and the Indian economy medium term.
And lastly, as far as the RBI and the rate cuts are concerned, most are expecting it to happen only in the next half of the financial year. So what are your views? When do we see that downward cycle of interest rates beginning? Do you see that the macros are coming and there is room for the governor to really look at start cutting rates going forward?
I think we will see the rate cuts in calendar 2015.
Okay, not before that.
We are not very far away from that calendar.
Okay, so in the Jan quarter, or?
We have to watch. We have to watch the developments. But I would say in my judgment, there's a reasonable chance of rate cuts in the first half calendar 2015.
And so lastly, of course, the deal has happened through the MCX deal. Everything has happened. So just wanted to understand, would the ideal way going forward would be merging the Ahmedabad exchange with the MCX?
No, we are financial investors in MCX. At this stage, we seriously believe to be medium and long-term financial investors in MCX. Nothing more at this stage.
Any inorganic expansion plans? Maybe the SX part also?
At this stage, there is nothing more which I can say. But we are committed to our financial investment in India's largest commodity exchange, MCX. No, we have to see how it works out, and we have no predetermined agenda. We want to create value for all shareholders of MCX.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.